wanted the best? You've got the best podcast, the hottest podcast in the world. The Chris Voss Show, the preeminent podcast with guests so smart you may experience serious brain bleed. The CEOs, authors, thought leaders, visionaries, and motivators. Get ready. Strap yourself in. Keep your hands, arms, and legs inside the vehicle at all times, because you're about to go on a monster education roller coaster with your brain. Now, here's your host, Chris Voss.
Hi, folks. It's Voss here from the ChrisVossShow.com. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Our listings for 2,500 episodes and 16 years we bring in the Chris Voss, going on 17 years, the Chris Voss Show. We've been sharing with you the most interesting minds, the most brilliant people, the most wonderful guests that we have on the show that share with you their journeys, their knowledge, and everything that you can possibly utilize to make your life better, or else. Anyway, guys, refer the show to your family, friends, and relatives. Go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss, LinkedIn.com/Chris Voss. Chris Voss won the TikTok and all those crazy places on the internet. Today, amazing two young men on the show with us today. We're going to be talking about their company, how they do, and weight loss. That seems to be a popular thing everyone likes to have. We're going to be talking with Eugene Osnis on the show and Dr. Sean Aurora, who's a medical director at Evolve Weight Loss and Wellness. We're going to get into it with them. Eugene is the founder of Evolve Weight Loss and Wellness, where he helps people transform their health through medical weight loss, regenerative medicine, and lifestyle coaching. With a 33-year background in pharmacy and 20 years as a pharmacy owner, Eugene brings deep expertise to the healthcare and passion for patient education. He now helps people transform their health through weight loss and medical weight loss, I should specify, and regenerative medicine, where he's committed to empowering people to take control of their wellness through knowledge and sustainable change. Outside of work, he enjoys traveling with his wife, fishing, and dominating his fantasy football leagues. Welcome to the show, Eugene and Dr. Sean. How are you?
Thank you. Thank you very much, Chris.
Thank you.
Pleasure to be here.
Pleasure to have you guys. Give us both your .coms. Where do you want people to get to know you guys better on the interwebs and social media?
Our website is, evolveweightlossclinic.com. You can see all our services that we provide. You're able to make appointments if you want to have a consultation or just want to talk about your issues. You can do everything on there.
Cool. Someone to call and talk to about my issues. There you go. Eugene, any .coms in addition that you need?
No, that's it. That's the only one.
All right. And then Dr. Sean Aurora, do we have yours in?
Yeah, aurora-health.com, where we offer our medical directorship program for everything that you can imagine: regenerative therapies, IV, aesthetics, weight loss, peptides, HRT.
There you go. Peptides. That might be interesting. I've been on TRT for a while, and we're talking with peptide people and we've had some peptide people on the show. What about stupidity? You guys figured out how to solve medical stupidity? There's a whole Twitter application that you guys can buy yachts with. Anyway, so give us a 30,000 overview, if you would. I'll give this to both you guys. We'll lead off with Eugene. Give us a 30,000 overview of what you guys do there at the clinic.
When we started the clinic, we basically started with medical weight loss, and from there we started adding services over the past year and a half. And one of the main services that we started offering was regenerative therapy, and specifically for erectile dysfunction. So that was something that kind of took off for us, and that's what So medical weight loss and regenerative therapy specifically for ED, that's been our bread and butter right now.
There you go. Is regenerative therapy mostly like ED, or is there other regenerative things that can go on there?
Exosome, we offer exosome therapy, which is kind of like a very broad spectrum of therapies that it can provide: hair restoration, neuropathy, skin rejuvenation, it's just a huge scope. It's always being studied and always being expanded on. But with us, it's something that we've hit on for ED that's become very, very popular on our end. And that's what we've been consulting with on a regular basis.
There you go. Dr. Aurora. Yeah, I don't know if you want to jump in and your thoughts on how you guys do what you do.
Absolutely. No, I mean, regenerative therapy, obviously, we're hearing the name all the time now, and not just for ED, but for a variety of different things, right? The goal there with regenerative therapy has always been to improve function, reduce inflammation, support long-term health. And it's not really a quick fix, right? And we're trying to stay away from that term. I don't believe there's a quick fix when in a lot of different diagnoses these days. And that's what everybody wants, but it's really about creating that roadmap. And that's what we focus on, especially at Evolve.
There you go. Why is ED seem to be becoming a thing? Is that, I know that we have a lot of estrogenics in our waters and our soaps and different things that attack testosterone. There's, I don't know, we have the lowest, I think historically we have the lowest testosterone driven men ever. I don't know. You guys are the pros on this, so I'm asking the question. But is there something going on that this is a thing, or is it just the availability and the kind of acceptance of men that, hey, it's it's not so embarrassing to go ask for help?
Yeah, absolutely. You're absolutely right. I think we're in that day and age now where, social media is huge. A lot of people are talking about this problem. Before it was more about, hey, just kind of hiding behind the door or the chair and, not really wanting to discuss these things. And men, they don't talk about this stuff, but they very well should. And there are options now, and that's what we want to do. We really want to provide access to wonderful therapies in a safe and a compliant way. And education, like, hey, if you've tried things in the past and then you just thought, hey, there's no way around it, there are new ways now that we can kind of explore. And the goal isn't really to make the man feel broken, but really show that, hey, solutions exist and they're backed by science. And we try to do that at Evolve.
Yeah. Eugene?
I'll be honest with you, from what I've seen, it's compared to what it was 30, 40 years ago, there's also a huge rise in diabetes in this country. And from what I've been reading, all the research that we've done, diabetes is a big is a very, very popular disease that causes a lot of nerve damage, especially in that groin area.
Oh, really?
So this is something that I had no clue when we started this, that if you look at it, there's about 38 million men in this country, 18 and over, that suffer from some form of ED.
Wow.
And if you take a look at it, it's like 1 out of every 3 men. But the problem is men don't talk about it with each other. So when you have weight loss, you see somebody, oh, you lost some weight. Oh, that's great. You look good. Where'd you go? With ED, nobody's really discussing it. So it's always been a hush hush type of issue. But I think more and more people are realizing this is not just them, that it's out there. From the people I consult, actually, I speak to them and they tell me, I have like 2-3 other friends, that's us going through the same thing, and that surprises me because 20 years ago, men didn't talk about this with each other.
Yeah, I've I got a vasectomy early on in my life, and talking about it around men, just has always made it weird. But every now and then, I have a buddy who will come up to me and be like, "Yeah, hey, I finally got my vasectomy," and I'm like, "That's great," and they want to tell me about it, and I'm like, "Dude, I don't really want to hear about your surgery because, I had to have my surgery with me under aesthetics or anesthetic because I just couldn't handle it. I was 22 at the time. I was like, if I screw this up, this thing doesn't work for the rest of my life. Where most guys, like 50 who go in for a vasectomy or whatever the age they are, they've already worn that thing out basically, and they got some kids in their belt and some nice child support going on. But it's funny, men will come out to me and they'll, hey, I got that vasectomy, and you're like, it's not really a secret, dude. It's like, we're just human beings going through here. And then talking about estrogenics, we've had a number of people on the show that have talked about estrogenics and some of the estrogenics in our food, and especially in our soaps and cleaners and stuff. And it's attacking and eating testosterone. And then and some of that comes from being overweight too, right? If
Yes.
whether you're, one of the problems I had for a lot of my life was I was so overweight and so low on testosterone, and my estrogen was just eating the hell out of my testosterone all the time.
Mhm.
And now we finally got it. I still take an estrogen blocker once a week at the clinic, but so and then I think I see now, like on TikTok, where things are really popular on social media. You have these different I don't know how healthy they are for you, but you have these different pill forms they brag about. No, if you're having ED, and maybe some of those social messages and advertisements have helped normalize that. Hey, it's okay to talk about. I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'm not, opposed to that idea, right? Like a lot of these ads that are out there, I think what that is allowing for males to talk about it, like, hey, it's okay to talk about this now, right?
Mhm.
Normalize it a little bit. A lot of us are going through it. It's not something that's just, as you get older, it can happen to someone that's a lot younger. As you mentioned, it's not just, one thing that could cause it. It's several different things. Like a lifestyle, for example, weight issues, stress issues, hormones, in your case, sleep. There's so many different things that can be a result of it, and we don't want to just patch those problems. We really want to understand the patient, and that's where I think it kind of varies from company to company, is like how they approach it. Where one, I
Mhm.
like the idea that they're normalizing it, where we can speak about it, but then the education that they receive back, they have to know like there's many factors that can actually cause ED, and then we can find out, hey, what's the best solution for them? What's the best foundation that we can build for them from a treatment standpoint?
Yeah.
There you go. From a treatment
So
standpoint.
Yeah.
y- yeah. So I mean, when we have patients that come in, call us up for consultation, we kind of look at everything with them, not just the symptoms that they're having.
Mhm.
So if someone comes in, for example, for ED, we talk about the psychological side as well as the physical side. We talk
Mhm.
about their weight, their stress, their lifestyle, all of it.
Mhm.
Often the best results come from combining things like weight loss and regenerative treatments, so everything is working together.
Hmm. There you go. And yeah, I mean, this is something more guys need to talk about. And I mean, sometimes maybe you just need to get that trophy wife. Does that maybe help with AED, or is that just a joke?
It can get you in more trouble, I'll tell you.
It's
From what
true.
I
Those
hear, I
trophy
from
wives
what I
tend to
from
be.
what I hear from a lot of patients, most of my patients are like 55 and up, right?
Uh-huh.
And a lot of them are single, and when I'm speaking to them, and a lot of them are dating, but what surprised me, like, they're all date like 65-year-olds dating like 25-year-olds,
Yeah.
so it kind of like, but then they say to me the same thing, you go on 2 3 dates and then they expect you to pay their bills, and they're like, "No, we're out." So so that's when they want, but they all want like a serious relationship at some point, but they kind of like shying away because of their ED, and that's where we try to help them the most.
I have a huge dating group that I oversee, about 5,000 people. And yeah, it's interesting. One of the, women usually have a whole list of delusional expectations for men. And then when you ask them what their list is, they provide, just get me.
Right.
And it's a joke, people. It is actually. So, and and one of the new lists that I hear my women in the group, they're in their 50s and 60s, talking about, is the new thing that get adds to the list is that the pipes still work. Uh and I'm just like, the guy's like 65, 70. Like, come on, man. What do you want? Um, but that's what they want. And they want a guy who's the pipes still work, and I guess can still break headboards into until you're 95, I guess, or something. That's the world we live in, folks. Grandma still got to get her groove on.
Yeah.
Uh, so, do you guys focus mostly on the weight loss drugs then?
Um, it's not that we mostly, focus on it. It's just that
Hmm.
we've been doing that since day one.
Hmm.
Whereas regenerative therapy, we'd only be doing, less than about maybe like less than half a year.
Hmm.
But the regenerative therapy side has just been growing quicker than the weight loss because of all the kind of like new guidelines they came out with weight loss. So, a lot of insurance companies are starting to cover weight loss a little bit more, but
Mhm.
it's still kind of like unavailable in pharmacies. It's still hard to get. It's still very expensive. So, it's just newer guidelines and, less patients wanting to use it. But, it's still one of the most popular things to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, I mean, you've seen people like Sharon Osbourne, and I think her daughter was on it. It was some
Yeah.
really interesting stuff there, and some dramatic weight loss. They have that, what is that called? Ozempic face.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I had a little bit of that when I was losing weight really fast, where I'd have a little turkey neck there going on. Had to wait for the body to catch up, and sometimes it can just take a while. But you have a lot of that going on. What is the latest coming out of the weight loss medications? Um, what's the latest stuff that people should know about what's going on with them, how successful they're being, et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah, no, great question. There's tons of more studies coming out just really showing the benefits of that these medications are having. The other day I was just watching about the benefits of GLPs on cancer, for example, in
Mm,
decreasing the risk of certain types of cancer, which I found very
mhm,
interesting. And again, it's like these weight loss medications are great, but what we like to do is not really just push the med itself and really offer a program. And I think that's important to avoid things like you said, right? Like Ozempic face. With losing weight too quickly is one of the things that we watch for as a program, why we do regular follow-ups and making sure we're not losing it drastically so we don't experience some of these side effects that could go along with GLPs. They're absolutely wonderful medications, but offering a solid exercise plan, a nutrition plan that pairs well with the GLPs is very important. Recently, we've had talks with a triple board certified psychiatrist that we wanted to bring on as an advisory position who would actually help with the mental health aspect of it as well. It's a 360 thing, right? It's a holistic view that we have to take when we start patients on GLPs or even regenerative therapies, and that's how we like to really focus when we see these patients.
yeah. Eugene?
Um, yeah, I mean, when patients come into us, and especially, once in a while, I'll get a patient that comes in from another clinic that's kind of like, already on a high dose of medication, and they've stalled on their like kind of plateaued on that dose.
Hmm.
Um, I try to keep. I try to explain that you want to stay on the low dose for as long as possible. Even if you lost like 8-9 pounds in the first month, and the second month you only lost 5 pounds, stay on that dose. First of all, if it's working for you, stay on it. You'll always have time to move up. But if you move up too fast, I've seen patients that come to us that moved up very, very quickly. Every month they were moving up, even though they were losing weight. And then they get to a point where that's it. They stop and they have no more room to move up. There's nowhere to go.
Oh, wow.
And you have to combine other medications for them, and it doesn't always work. So they kind of get discouraged and they stop using it. And obviously when you stop really quick, without doing any type of maintenance or microdosing, you gain it all back. It's just your body is just not used to being without it. Your hormones start going crazy, and it's very unfortunate that not every clinic does it the right way. Not every doctor knows how to do it the right way.
There
Mhm.
you go. What are some misnomers or some misinformation that are out there in the marketplace that people, uh, there's been all sorts of things that, some people have thrown it, and I've seen some exercise weight loss people, throw shade at it. Some famously, I can't think of them, but some of them are on the national sort of scale of fitness advisor, and I can kind of see why they don't like it, because they make money off of convincing people to be, work out and be lose weight and get muscle. But some people need some extra help, and hey, it's like one money for another money, basically. They're trying.
Right.
Mhm.
It's bad if
Yeah.
you pay somebody else to lose weight. You have to pay me. What are some misnomers that are out there in the marketplace?
One of the misnomers is a lot of people think they can just take this medication and they're going to lose the weight no matter what.
Hmm.
Um, which is very, very false. If you're going to just take this medication, you might not lose weight at all. There's
Mm.
always you have to combine this with a proper diet. You have to combine. You have to add some type of exercise. Even if you're older and you can't you go out and like lift weights and everything like that, but add some cardio, walk like 30-40 minutes a day, because by itself it's not going to work, right?
Yeah.
And people get discouraged. I've had patients that lose 10-12 pounds in a month, and I've had patients that lose 1 or 2 pounds in a month, and they say, well, the medication doesn't work. And then I ask them, well, do you exercise? What are you eating? What's your meal plan on a daily basis?
I'm at McDonald's every day.
Right, exactly. So it's not something that by itself this medication will not work. It just won't.
I can see some people doing that thing where they're like,
Yeah.
well, I'm losing weight, so now I can get an extra Big Mac every day.
Right.
Yep.
Right. I'll just add a Diet Coke to it, though. Yeah, I'll be fine.
Yeah, a Diet Coke. Oh, man. I love people who think they lose weight drinking
I tell
diet.
people, I tell my
Yeah.
patients when I consult them, I say, listen, I don't tell anybody to cut out completely any carbs or any sugars, right? Everyone is human. There's no such thing. Like it's going to be impossible. So, but I do tell them, if you're going to have a sandwich for lunch, don't have pizza for dinner, right? Just keep your carbs to a minimum. You want some extra carbs, have a fruit, because a lot of fruit have carbs in them, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, you'll be fine. And eat healthy, people. I mean, I just take good protein, and then I have one square meal a day, usually chicken. For some reason I found that chicken is like really good for me. Like we really work together, chicken and I. Beef not so much, but
Yeah.
when it comes to working out and doing stuff, yeah. And so there you go. In talking about some of these other elements, now, do people with your clinic, do you do telemedicine? Do people have to come into it? Where is it located? How does that work?
Well, we're located in Westchester County, specifically in Larchmont, right on the border with New Rochelle. And for consultations, we do telemedicine. When it comes to people coming in for regenerative therapy, obviously they do have to come in. We have a PA, an NP that does the therapy. But for weight loss, we just order a prescription for them, from our compounding pharmacies that we're signed up with, and they deliver, they mail it straight to their home in a vial. Some patients will come to me with that vial, and to help them put in the syringes. We do that as well. But most of the time, they've kind of already, like, we've taught them how to do it on their own. But if they're still having trouble, they do come in. But the consultations are done all through telemedicine.
There you go. Telemedicine. What a great thing. What an awesome thing. And plus, you can help people all around the nation, I guess. You don't serve outside of the US, do you? I imagine not.
No.
Okay. All right.
No.
So now, with you guys' therapy, you guys talk about holistic approach. How do you integrate metabolic optimization, hormone health, and regenerative medicine into being holistic?
Like I said, we look at everything. We kind of combine everything, holistically, because especially when it comes to like regenerative therapy for ED or even weight loss. But we don't just talk about the psychological side, right? The physical side. We combine it with psychological, and it's a lifestyle that we look at, like, and we try to recommend, like, how to do, what to eat, what type of diet to take, how to, we give them, like, timelines that are realistic, right? I never tell anybody you're gonna lose 2-3 pounds a week, right? It's just not realistic. Some people want to hear that, but it's not realistic. And we don't I'd rather kind of like undersell it, and then so if it happens quicker, then they're happier. But we're straight with patients, and we combine everything for them, so they show the best results when everything is combined.
Yeah. And the one thing you got to do when you do these, like you say, change your diet, because if you don't, you're just going to go back to being overweight,
Right.
because that's what got you there in the first place.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
and they are pretty amazing. Like what I was shocked by was when I was on some form of Ozempic. I think one of the other ones. It really took away my interest in eating completely. And I started taking it right before Thanksgiving, and went to Thanksgiving and then later to Christmas dinner. And I just started looking at the beautiful fine dining food that we'd gone out for. And I was just like,
Yeah.
I can't even finish this. I couldn't even get to the dessert. But it's pretty great from that element. You quit thinking about food all the time. And if you're kind of overweight, like I have been most of my life, you're kind of food conscious, maybe. So there you go.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, many people are curious about new regenerative therapies like PRP or exomes. How do these explain these to patients in a way that's understandable and realistic? And what are they? Let's lay a foundation for that.
So I keep it real simple, right? The simpler, the better, so people understand it. PRP is like when they take your own blood's growth factors, put it
Mhm.
back where your body needs the healing, right?
Mm.
Exosomes are more like little text messages, right? Telling your cells how to repair themselves, right? So they can be powerful, but we set clear, like I said, we set clear expectations for the patients. We don't give them super, and we give them enough information for them to educate and to know, for them to be educated and to know what to expect.
Mhm.
But we live in a society where we want instant gratification, and
Mhm.
this is not one of those. This is not the therapy for that. We don't sell any type of pills or anything or any type of injections that will give you that will fix you in an hour, and
Mhm.
then 24 hours later it's gone. Right?
Ah,
We try to get to the to the root cause of the issue, and that's what exosomes therapy is all about. Regenerative therapy.
there you go. Regenerate the therapy. Um, and then now you built your clinic around trust. How do you balance the excitement of these cutting edge treatments? I think we talked a little bit about this with the need to keep expectations grounded, and that's probably true. Like when I first started losing weight, I was losing 2 or 3 pounds a day, but I was close to 400 pounds. I was drinking 10 to 15 Mountain Dews a day, vodka and Mountain Dew at night, and eating just like Taco Bell all the time, basically. And so just cutting out the pop alone made a huge difference for me in losing weight. Of course, I was in my 40s, but I was losing about 2 or 3 pounds a day, which is quite fast. But I was consuming so much shit.
Right.
So how do you do that? I guess
Well, we don't sugarcoat anything for the patients, right?
not with Mountain Dew.
Um, no, not even with Mountain Dew. A little bit with Red Bull, but not Mountain Dew.
There you go. I like Red Bull.
So we don't sugarcoat anything and tell them what they want to hear. Like a lot of them want to hear, oh, when am I gonna see progress? In a week, in 2 days?
Mhm.
We don't tell them that, right? Because there's a lot of hype online. So we explain what the research actually says and
Mhm.
what we've seen work in real life. We'd rather, like I said, we'd rather under promise and over deliver. And in my opinion, that's how you build long term trust.
Mhm. And how does education play a role in that too?
Um, the education that we give is during the consultation and then with the follow-ups.
Mhm.
So, I actually have a little, PowerPoint video that after my, 45 minutes to an hour free consultation that I give on Zoom,
Mhm.
I send it to the patient so they can have like a full view of everything that we've discussed.
Mhm.
And, we just, we give them enough education for them to make a wise decision, and not to expect something that's unexpected.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we feel like our patients like truly understand what they're actually, putting in their body and taking in, and we educate them appropriately, that's when I feel like they're ready to take some action
Mhm.
after really understanding that piece.
There you go. Now, is PRP, does that include peptides, or does any of this include peptide treatment? I've been talking and seeing, and I've been taking testosterone therapy now in November for 2 years. And we've had people on the show talking about peptides. Is that involved in your guys' process at all?
Um,
Yeah, so I'm 100% for peptides. I absolutely love them. I think there's definitely a place for them. And again, this kind of falls in line with that holistic view, right? We have our medical protocols for peptides, but there's a place for them. It's not for everyone. If you're completely healthy and you're just looking to get, even like super jacked or something like that, I wouldn't just recommend taking a peptide, right?
Oh.
Especially for the very healthy patient. There are places for peptides, and again, similar to exosomes, you can consider them also being a similar type of a text message type situation. For your body, it's short, it's direct, and it's to the point. But we need to make
Mhm.
sure that we have the right use case for it. We do provide oversight protocols, intakes forms, follow-ups. Where right now, I mean, you could go online and go to peptidesciences.com or something like that, and just get whatever peptide you want, which is scary to me. It's like without any sort of supervision, any sort of
Wow.
doctor oversight, which I don't like. I'm not for that type of life. A lot of people think that they're very knowledgeable and they can find the research on their own, but at the end of the day, we are putting something in our body that does need that oversight from a medical professional.
Yeah. You need some oversight
Yeah.
because, I have a lot of friends, not a lot, but I have a group of friends that are into the roids and they
Mhm.
do their own stuff. And boy, when they muck themselves up, like, one guy was like, let's see how much estrogen blocker I could take. And can't get it up for a week. Um, they, they
Yeah.
muck around a little bit. And boy, when they run little experiments on themselves, they really they really do some interesting things. Let's put it that way.
Mhm.
And then they're like, "Oh, I gotta wait till that gets out of my system for the next week or two." And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know about all that, man. Like, I don't know that I want to use myself as a lab experiment.
Mhm.
I'd
Right.
Yeah.
like to stick with what works." So yeah, when they muck themselves up, they usually do it for a while, and it's kind of interesting the business they're in. But what do I know? So there you go. Now, overseeing nationally clinics and stuff, Dr. Aurora, why is a multifaceted approach to ED, combining lifestyle, hormones, regenerative therapies? Do you guys recommend that people get on the GLP and take the ED? And I don't know. Do you guys get into testosterone therapy at all?
No, absolutely. I mean, we definitely oversee clients doing all these different types of therapies. It
Mhm.
kind of plays into that holistic approach we talked about earlier, where we really want to zoom out and look at the whole system, not just focus on just one piece of it, right? I mean, when it comes to ED, and what Evolve is doing is not just focusing on ED, focusing on one reason for ED, but it's really taking a look at the whole system and seeing why we have this, right? Is it hormone related? Is it weight related? Is it stress related? And then we'll tackle that issue, right? All of this stuff is connected, and there's a reason for one of it. If we can solve it with just decreasing the amount of carbs they're taking in or fatty foods they're taking in, and that's great.
Mhm.
Why even talk about any other product? But if there's something else, if this is an issue that they've been dealing with for some time, they've tried multiple therapies in the past, and coming into Evolve for exosome therapy, it might be a great option. It might be awesome having something like that, having access to something like that, where it's very hard to do. So, what we say a lot at Aurora, and same thing it translates at Evolve, is that the real win really happens when we line up everything together. And that's really our goal. We need to get everything straightened out.
Mhm.
And when most of my patients they come to us from the beginning, they're already skeptical, right?
Yeah.
Because
Mhm.
everything they've tried in the past has not worked. So when someone realizes after the consultation and the education that we give them, going back to education because education is the key, right? So when someone realizes that there's a real treatment that gets to the root cause for
Mhm.
what they're going through, they feel
Mhm.
that they start feeling some that there is hope, right? So
Yeah.
education gives them that roadmap, and once they see the progress, their confidence comes back, and in every aspect of their life, and there's like a huge psychological boost with them as well.
Yeah. I mean, when you feel better and you feel healthy, it makes all the difference, when you can impress the woman in the bedroom there. Um, that makes you feel good, it makes you feel complete.
Mhm.
So, if you're happy with yourself and everybody else is happy with yourself, then everyone's happy
Right.
sometimes. I don't know.
Exactly.
You might want to that might be there. We might want to put some fine print on that one. Well, the attorneys look into that.
Yeah.
So there you go. Some people you can't make happy. Now,
No.
regenerative medicine is expanding quickly. What excites you as some of the future things? Where do you see things going with the PRP, the exomes, and shockwave? I don't think we
Dr. Ro-
talked about shockwave therapy. If you guys want to expand on that a little bit too.
Yeah, so definitely, right? We're trying to restructure the entire system with
Mhm.
regenerative therapy. Not a lot of this stuff is FDA approved, right? It's always been very hard to get access to these medications. People flying out, people spending big money. The Kardashians, for example, spending big monies to get out of the country to go get
Mhm.
exosomes or stem cells, and
Yeah.
everyone's like, "Hey, I can't do this," but now we're providing that access, right, in the safe,
Mhm.
compliant way, providing it from the best products. So that's exciting. That's a big step, a big jump forward for exosomes and regenerative therapy. More and more things are coming out in this space that is very exciting. What we get more excited about, though, are the more use cases and studies that we're seeing to show the benefits of it, right?
Mhm.
And it's very exciting. The more data that we have, the more comfort level, our comfortability as well for regenerative therapies for more providers, which results in more access to more patients. And that's what we really want in this space. We truly are seeing the difference that we're making with it. So the more studies we have, the more data sharing, collaborations in this space, the better it's going to be for the field.
There you go. There you go. So, and I think, do you guys do, what was it? The shock therapy? I think it was shockwave therapy. What is that?
Um, I know what you mean, but we don't do that
Okay.
here because
Okay.
that's not really part of regenerative therapy, right? That's like
Okay.
that's something that's useful if I've had patients that come to us that that say they tried that type of therapy. Some of them bought a machine for $15,000-$20,000, and it's just they tried it 2-3 times and it's just standing in their home doing nothing, collecting
Well,
dust. Um, it has its place in ED therapy, but it's very short lived, and it helps. You have to do a lot of sessions in order for it to do anything. It works well with mild ED, but
mm,
if you have like nerve damage, if you have some you know um you know blood flow issues, it might help, but again, on
mhm,
a mild level. If you have a blockage, again, in mild level. Nerve damage, it doesn't help anything at all. We chose to do exosome therapy because it's a much broader type of therapy than
mhm,
anything else out there. Um, the only other thing you can compare this to would be like stem cell therapy, but stem cells are just, to be honest with you, a lot more expensive and a little bit of a higher risk. Exosome
mm.
therapy has a much lower risk of anything happening.
Oh, wow. There you go.
Yeah.
That's kind of interesting. So there you go. What have we talked about as we round out the show, that we should probably, let people know about?
I just want to say, like most guys, that come to us for ED, they have never had a real conversation about their sexual wellness issue with anybody. Not even, I was shocked to hear that they don't even talk to their urologist.
Wow.
Some of them do, but most of them don't. Right? They come
Mhm,
in worried or embarrassed, and no one's ever explained to them what's going on with their bodies or why it's happening. Right?
mhm,
So again, we go back to education, and the reason we educate them in plain language is for them to feel less broken and more in control. And
mm,
when they feel that, they kind of, loosen up a little bit. They start taking, they're ready to take action, and they're ready to understand that there is hope for them,
mhm,
rather than, there's nothing I can do about it. I've had men that come to me for, they've had ED for, 15, 20 years, and
mhm.
they're skeptical from the beginning. But when we explain it to them, they feel like, okay, this is something that I'm interested in, and it's something that might work for me.
There you go. Well, it's good that we have these resources now where men can utilize this and not have to deal with not having any way to help it. So that's very good. So, guys, as we go out, give people your final thoughts. Tell them how they can onboard with you, how they can reach out, how they can learn more, and get involved with your program, or at least find out more.
I mean, we can be contacted either through our website, www.evolveweightlossclinic.com. You can call us at the office at 914-620-8577. We also have, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on Google, our ads are all over, and even if you think you don't qualify, give us a call. We'll walk you through it, and we'll let you know if you qualify or not.
Yeah. I mean, getting testosterone therapy is one of the greatest things I ever did in my life. I didn't know I was suffering from really massive brain fog. It was really quite the awakening when I woke up, basically. It started 3 days after when the system hit when it hit the testosterone in my system from the butt injection. But yeah, I started waking up from brain fog, and it was really crazy. I was kind of living this life that I just felt whipped to death with, where I would wake up in the morning and I would feel like I was crawling into bed 10 minutes later. And I'd be like, where'd this day go?
Chris,
And
maybe you are whipped at night, but you just
I
don't
mean,
realize it.
that's a whole different thing. Yeah, talk to the mistress about that. But no, I literally I would sit there and go like, what did I do today? And there's a record of kind of what I did. You got to answer emails, you got to talk to people on the podcast 3 times a day, and there's a record. But I wasn't getting anything more accomplished beyond the basics. I was functioning, and I kind of felt like I was just. What was funny was I started coming out of brain fog, and I was like a week off. I was living in a week. I don't know how you call it, week 4 brain fog. Like I remember the first Monday I started waking up from it. I'd taken my injection on Friday, and I did the first podcast, and I was like, how come it's not Tuesday? I've been doing a bunch of stuff. Why is it not Tuesday right now? It's still Monday. And then I did the second podcast, and then by the third podcast, I was like, why is it not Wednesday right now? It should be Wednesday. I know that it's Wednesday, but it says Monday. Something's fucking wrong. And somewhere by the end of the second day, or the third day, I think it was the second Tuesday, I started to get real clarity, and everything stopped. It went from zoom to, and suddenly I was present. And for several days, I was like, why is on Tuesday, I was like, why is it not next Monday? Why is it not Friday? I don't understand what's going on. And that's how much brain fog I had been living in for the longest time. Like my life was just blasting by me, and I wasn't even present. I was just on machine mode. And so that's one of the things it did with the testosterone treatment. It brought everything to present. And now I operate in real time, and I actually feel like I get stuff done. I actually feel like I get the extra projects done that I want. And so, it's just not all about chasing the woman around or whatever whatever you like, is around, the bedroom. Sometimes it's about just balancing life, and it's helped me lose weight too, I think, by helping my system. So give us the .coms one last time as we go out, gentlemen.
www.evolveweightlossclinic.com.
Awesome. And aurora-health.com. Again, looking for a telemedicine company, a new med spa, a former med spa that you're already running, whatever we can do to help from a medical directorship program.
There you go. So you guys are looking to kind of white label some of that. Is that the correct word for the business of that, helping those people?
What we do is provide like a medical directorship program, like Eugene, for example, those that actually want to make and care about the patient, right? That actually want to bring that change and make that difference. So we provide oversight nationwide.
All right. Well, thank you very much, guys. Thanks to our audience for tuning in. Thank you guys for being here. We certainly appreciate it. And hopefully we've helped educate more men and everyone on what's going on.
Chris, thank you very much.
I appreciate
you very much for having us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks, our audience, for tuning in as well. We couldn't do it without you guys. Refer the show to your family, friends, and relatives. Just put your arm around them and say, I love you and care about you, but you kind of need to improve your knowledge. You should subscribe to the Chris Voss Show podcast. That way I don't have to listen to some of the crazy shit you say. Don't say that. That's never going to work out. The attorney said we can't say that. But, just tell them to subscribe. It's a kind of a nudge there, a hint, if you will. And then when you go to Thanksgiving dinner, everybody will be smart there. They won't, but unless they listen to the show. If they listen to the show, they're going to be brilliant. So just find those people.
They'll feel smart at least.
They'll feel smart. So go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss, LinkedIn.com/Chris Voss. Chris Voss, one of the TikTok and all those crazy places on the internet. Be good to each other. Stay safe. We'll see you next time.